Have you ever wondered how you'd feed animals if there was no access to modern feed supplies? Imagine living in a world where every aspect of survival depends solely on natural resources and old traditions, a place where sustainability is a way of life. Welcome to the world of the Amish, where feed stores don't exist and everything is done in harmony with nature. In our modern world, grocery stores and suppliers are always nearby, just a click or short drive away, making it easy to forget what it's like to depend solely on nature. The Amish, however, remind us of what life might look like if we relied only on what we could produce ourselves. They have deliberately chosen to avoid feed stores and industrial solutions for feeding their animals, instead, depending on knowledge passed down through generations. Their world operates without massive silos, synthetic additives, or dependency on commercial products, yet it thrives. In this video, we'll take a deep dive into the fascinating Amish way of life and uncover how they manage to keep their animals healthy and well-fed without ever setting foot in a feed store. You'll be amazed at how effective, sustainable, and resourceful their methods are, and how these practices not only nourish their animals but also sustain a way of life rooted in respect for the natural world. We'll explore how the Amish create a diverse and nutritious feeding foundation through clever crop rotation and innovative planting techniques. We'll look at the ways their animals graze freely in natural pastures, and how the Amish reduce waste by reusing food scraps that might otherwise be discarded. And we'll end with a look at the unique community cooperation that is fundamental to Amish life, showing how mutual support strengthens not only their farming but also their entire culture. Every step along the way, you'll gain insights into practices that aren't just sustainable, but also deeply fulfilling. Why no feed store? The Amish philosophy. The Amish community captivates and intrigues many because they consciously choose to live without many of the conveniences we take for granted. But why exactly do they avoid the feed store? After all, wouldn't it be much simpler to buy ready-made feed? The answer lies in the very heart of Amish values and worldview: self-sufficiency as a core principle. The Amish firmly believe in self-sufficiency and independence. Their lifestyle is built on simplicity, a deep respect for nature, and the desire to produce everything essential themselves. In a world that increasingly depends on external systems, they stay true to the principle: if we need it, we make it. A feed store, to the Amish, represents dependency on a system beyond their control. Their aim isn't just about convenience but a life that aligns with natural rhythms and respects the resources around them. This way of thinking goes beyond mere practicality. The Amish see themselves as stewards of the earth, and by being entirely self-sufficient, they uphold a system that honors every aspect of their land and animals. For them, depending on commercial feed would mean breaking this sacred bond, disrupting the cycle that has sustained them for generations. Amish farming is deeply cyclical, where nothing is wasted, and everything serves a purpose. The animals are not just livestock, they're part of a larger ecosystem, cultural and spiritual perspective. In Amish culture, there's a profound understanding of and respect for the environment. The idea that every plant, every animal, and every piece of land has its place and purpose is deeply ingrained in their belief system. Their lifestyle reflects a spiritual commitment to humility, simplicity, and a close relationship with the land. Just as they refrain from using modern technology, they also avoid external supply sources whenever possible. Their deep spiritual beliefs further reinforce the importance of simplicity, mindfulness, and community interdependence. Surprise element. For the Amish, rejecting modern feed isn't simply a matter of tradition. It's a way to live responsibly toward nature, their animals, and their community. This choice is as much about faith and philosophy as it is about practicality. By being self-sufficient, they feel more stable, more in control, and more aligned with the natural world. They know they're not subject to fluctuating prices, supply issues, or dependency on corporations. Instead, they're guided by a principle that has proven resilient for generations: an emotional reflection. Imagine a life where every meal, every piece of clothing, and even the feed for animals is something you've created yourself. For the Amish, this is a life filled with meaning, dedication, and purpose. There are no distractions from technology or external dependencies. Every act, from planting to feeding, is a deliberate choice, guided by mindfulness and respect for nature and community. The Amish live in a way that many of us have forgotten, a lifestyle that resonates deeply with the values of patience, gratitude, and humility. Growing their own feed, crop rotation, and natural feeding. One of the core techniques the Amish use to keep their animals well-fed all year round is crop rotation. This practice involves planting different crops in the same field in a rotating cycle, each one serving a purpose in maintaining soil health and providing the animals with balanced nutrition. Crop rotation enriches the soil, improves its resilience, and provides a rich variety of nutrients vital for the animals. In-depth crop selection. The choice of crops for rotation is far from random. Every year, the Amish carefully plan which crops to plant in which order to rejuvenate the soil and optimize conditions for the next year. Alfalfa, for instance, with its high protein content, is ideal for feeding cows and horses, enriching the soil with nitrogen and improving fertility for the following year's crops. Meanwhile, clover provides essential minerals and supports soil resilience, and oats aerate the ground, preparing it for the next season's crops. Corn, rich in calories, is crucial in the colder months when the animals need more energy. Each crop serves multiple functions in the Amish ecosystem. Alfalfa helps sustain livestock while enriching the soil, clover promotes biodiversity, and oats provide nutrition while supporting root structure. This careful selection and timing form the backbone of Amish farming, a detailed yearly plan. In spring, oats are often planted to aerate the soil, preparing it for summer's lush growth. Summer brings clover, which replenishes essential nutrients, followed by fall, when corn is planted to provide high-energy feed during winter. Every crop rotation is timed precisely to yield maximum benefit for both the soil and the animals. This seasonal planning keeps the land fertile and prevents soil depletion, ensuring that each crop is as beneficial as the last. The Amish feeding cycle. The Amish have perfected the art of growing feed crops, creating a cycle in which each plant and each season has a purpose. Through this practice, they achieve a naturally high nutrient density in the soil, eliminating the need for chemical fertilizers often required in modern agriculture. Their approach is organic by necessity and refined through centuries of observation and experience, proving that sustainable farming can indeed yield abundance. Surprise element. Did you know that the Amish, through their crop rotation, can achieve yields comparable to those in intensive farming, yet entirely natural and sustainable? Their methods have been passed down through generations, showing that nature itself can provide everything needed for a balanced and productive farm without reliance on synthetic aids. Additional comparison. Imagine how much patience, care, and foresight go into these methods. While modern agriculture often focuses on immediate yield for the Amish, farming is a long-term investment in the health of their land. It's a perspective that values soil and sustainability above all else, thinking not only of today's harvest but of the land's health for generations to come. It's a lesson in the beauty of slow, respectful, and deeply attentive farming. Free-range grazing, a natural buffet for animals. Another cornerstone of Amish farming is free-range grazing. Instead of confining animals to stalls and feeding them standardized food, the Amish allow their animals to roam freely in pastures, where they forage for their own food. The benefits of grazing for the animals. Cows, goats, and chickens each find their preferred foods, creating a varied and natural diet. Cows graze on various grasses, which provide essential nutrients. Goats nibble on shrubs and herbs, and chickens forage for insects that supply protein. By grazing freely, each animal selects the food that best meets its dietary needs, fostering health and resilience in a way factory farms can rarely replicate. Immersive scene on Amish pastures. Picture this on a warm summer afternoon. Cows graze peacefully in open pastures, while chickens curiously hunt for insects and seeds in the shade. Each animal has the freedom to move, explore, and interact with nature, as it would in the wild. These animals aren't just eating, they're living the way they were meant to, engaging in behaviors that are often suppressed in confined spaces. The freedom of grazing reduces stress, boosts immune health, and improves the animal's overall quality of life, strengthening the bond between animal and nature. For the Amish, this isn't just a feeding practice but a philosophy. Allowing animals to graze freely is about honoring their place in the ecosystem. Animals are not seen merely as livestock but as integral parts of a larger natural system that the Amish strive to maintain. By fostering a harmonious relationship between animal and land, the Amish create a farming system that benefits everyone involved. Surprise element. Did you know that cows allowed to graze freely have higher nutrient intakes and need fewer antibiotics than those in confined feedlots? Grazing isn't only better for the animal's health, but it also reduces the need for medications, an advantage that's both ethical and economical. Psychological impact on the viewer. This chapter inspires viewers to appreciate a type of farming that respects animals' instincts and natural tendencies. By imagining the freedom and contentment these animals experience, viewers can begin to see farming not just as production, but as a relationship. It's a poignant reminder of the benefits of a system that prioritizes the well-being of animals and the natural world. Using kitchen scraps sustainability down to the last bit. The Amish are masters at conserving resources, and this approach permeates every area of their farming practices. One example of this is the use of kitchen scraps as animal feed. Rather than discarding scraps, they collect vegetable peels, fruit rinds, bread crusts, and other organic leftovers to feed their animals. A deeper look into the circular economy. This method exemplifies a circular economy at its best. In Amish communities, everything produced by nature is valued and reused. This philosophy not only reduces waste but also provides the animals with a varied and natural diet. Every peel, every scrap of food has a purpose. There is no waste, there is only the ongoing cycle of nourishment. The animals benefit from a diverse diet, and the Amish feel a deep satisfaction in knowing they've minimized their impact on the land. Practical implementation in daily life. In a typical Amish household, every leftover is carefully sorted, collected, and prepared before being fed to the animals. Children and adults work together to gather scraps, and animals eagerly await the offerings. This not only provides nutritious feed, but also teaches the next generation about sustainability, respect for resources, and the importance of minimizing waste. Each family member learns to see value in what others might throw away. Emotional reflection. Imagine a world where not a single apple peel or vegetable scrap is wasted. For the Amish, this is not just practical, it's a core part of their lives. It's a powerful statement about how deeply they value every resource. When waste is minimized, the cycle of life becomes more visible, and every part of the process feels like a contribution rather than a cost. The Amish offer a compelling example of how even small changes in our habits can make a big difference in reducing waste and creating a more sustainable lifestyle. Winter preparation, tackling the toughest season. Winter is a major challenge for any farm, especially for the Amish, who rely on self-sufficiency. The colder months require intense preparation and meticulous planning to ensure enough feed is available when grazing and fresh forage aren't options. Traditional feed storage methods. By late summer, the Amish begin harvesting and storing hay and other feed. Hay is cut, dried, and stacked in large barns, a process that often involves the entire community. Families come together to help each other, sharing labor and resources. The process of cutting and drying hay is done with precision and care, as every bale is essential for the survival of the animals through winter. The art of making silage. Silage, a fermented form of animal feed, is another technique passed down through generations. Rich in nutrients and easy to digest, silage is essential in winter when animals need extra energy to stay warm. The art of making silage involves selecting the right time to cut the grass, compacting it, and allowing it to ferment properly. This process is precise, learned through experience, and is crucial for keeping animals healthy during the coldest months. Emotional story. Imagine a typical winter evening in the Amish community. Families gather to stack hay bales and prepare silage, sharing stories and songs as they work. It's not just labor, it's a communal act of care and commitment. These moments of shared work remind everyone that survival is a collective effort. The camaraderie and dedication ensure that their animals are well fed even in the harshest winter, and the memory of working together becomes a source of warmth on the coldest nights. Through their careful planning and preparation, the Amish ensure their animals are well taken care of even when resources are scarce. Their approach to winter preparation is a testament to their patience, resilience, and respect for nature's rhythms. Sustainable farming, to them, is not merely a technique but a deeply ingrained way of life. Surprise element. The Amish show that it's possible to prepare for winter without costly machines or modern technology, a lesson in patience, planning, and community effort. Their methods prove that farming does not require high expenses, but a commitment to resourcefulness, teamwork, and care. Communities support a network of sharing. One of the most admirable aspects of Amish life is their readiness to help each other during times of need. If one family has difficulty feeding their animals, the rest of the community steps in to share feed and resources. The importance of community. In Amish culture, community means more than just being neighbors, it's a support network built on trust, loyalty, and mutual assistance. For the Amish, sharing and helping each other is second nature, and they are always ready to share their resources to ensure that no one in the community suffers. This network of support allows each member of the community to feel secure, knowing they're never alone in difficult times. Stories of solidarity. Consider a farmer who has lost his hay to unexpected flooding. His neighbors quickly step in to offer extra hay feed and even labor to help him rebuild. These stories of support are common in Amish communities, where everyone is seen as part of a larger family. In hard times, each person knows they can rely on others, and they repay this support when the opportunity arises. Very emotional comparison. This level of community spirit is rare in today's society. While many of us strive for personal independence, the Amish demonstrate how much stronger a community can be when it works together. In Amish culture, no one is left behind. Each person's success or hardship affects the entire community, creating a bond that's both practical and deeply emotional. Conclusion: the Amish methods of animal feeding serve as a model of sustainability and community. Their philosophy of living in harmony with nature, avoiding modern conveniences, and helping one another shows us that a simple life can be deeply fulfilling and meaningful. They remind us that self-sufficiency, respect for nature, and community are values worth cherishing and protecting. Inspiring questions. Can we learn from the Amish to respect nature more? How could we design our lives to use more of what surrounds us and rely less on external systems? Is it possible for us to find greater satisfaction in simplicity, in resourcefulness, and in connection with those around us? Call to action. Subscribe to our channel to learn more about the wisdom and sustainable ways of life of the Amish and other traditional communities. Share this video with others who might appreciate these lessons in simple, sustainable living, and join us in exploring ways to create a greener, more connected future.